Housing not jails. Housing not jails. Housing not jails. Housing not jails.
Fight, 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 fight. Housing is a human right.
Fight, 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 fight. Housing is a human right. Fight, 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 fight. Housing is a human right.
Once again, thank you everybody for coming out and joining us for our rally for Housing Not Jails. So Housing Not Jails is a collective of people who have experienced homelessness or are experiencing homelessness, and we get together and we tell our stories, give our testimonies, and try to come up with ways to make things better for ourselves, and how to I don't want to say go up against the city or whatever.
Let me chime in, Diamond. Yo. Listen, Diamond. Listen. We got to respect ourselves as homeless people, and then they'll respect us. We got to police ourselves, and then they gonna police us, because they're gonna house us. It's a right, and that's why we here.
Another issue, personally for me, is the shelters. You know, there are walk-in shelters for men all around the state. There's none for women. No walk-in shelters for women. And it angers me that I cannot go to a shelter and just say, look, I'm homeless and in need of somewhere to go. I have to call 211, and when I call 211, they put me on a waiting list to do a CAN assessment, and when I go do my CAN assessment the next week, I get put on another waiting list until a bed becomes available, and God only knows how long before that bed becomes available. So as a woman, I'm stuck in the streets until a bed is available, whereas men can go right up here to Grand Avenue and walk into that shelter and get a bed.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right now, the overflow is open on Cedar Street. It's seasonal, but it's still a walk-in shelter for men. They can go to Cedar Street with nowhere to go when it's cold and get a bed. But there's nowhere like that for women. Family shelters. There are family shelters, but men cannot go in with their families. Only women and children. There are men that would love to be with their families, and instead they are told they have to come out here and be separated from their wives and their children. Why can't they be with their family? Why can they not continue to be a family unit? Why should they have to be split up? There has to be a family shelter where men can go in with their families, more than one.
Absolutely.
A woman should not have to be in a domestic violence situation in order to go into a family shelter. But that does seem to be the case. Warming centers. The warming centers are not opening up until January this year. Last year they opened in November. But not only that, when the warming centers are open, they don't open until 10 o'clock at night. Where do we go as homeless? The library closes at 8 o'clock at night. Where do we go for 2 hours at night in the cold with nowhere to go until a door opens for us?
What about the harassment in the libraries when you're in the library and you're homeless?
Yes, that is a problem. The library will no longer the library is no longer taking contracts to be a warming center during the day.
Let's talk about the hospitals, man.
The hospitals are not warming centers either, but they will kick you out. Yes, they will. You have to pretend like something is wrong with you. Go in and get checked for a fake ailment, and then maybe, just maybe, you can sit in the waiting room all night and stay warm. Maybe. But there needs to be warming centers. The train station no longer allows the homeless to sit there if they don't have a ticket. We weren't bothering anyone. We were sitting there and charging our phones, minding our business until it was time to go somewhere. You cannot sit in the train station unless you buy a ticket. My fiance and I we have a campsite that we go to, but there's no electricity. We were going to the train station to charge our phones. That's it. They told us we could not sit there and charge our phones unless we had a ticket to go somewhere. It is not right.
My soul is resting, and it's just a blessing.
I'm Donnie, and I'm here to talk about the retaliation we get by the cops. We get retaliated every day because we're homeless. We get retaliated just sitting on the green. We fall asleep. They tell us either we gotta go to the hospital or go to jail because they think we're intoxicated by the cops. You know, we get, personally me, I got a ticket for a shot in the cart, retaliated because they couldn't find out who did the fight. You know, Sade had fell down and had a seizure on the green. Got a ticket just so they, for public disturbance. And it's not right. And you know, we got other friends. There's an off-duty cop driving by. A couple of my friends, they were flying a sign, trying to get some change just to eat. They weren't even on. They called the cops that were on duty, got them searched because they had a sign. They got tickets for it, which is not right.
Not right at all.
We get everybody around here. I guarantee you, ask anybody that's been homeless, they'll tell you we get retaliated on every day. No matter where we at, we get questioned about everything. What you doing? Where you going? Why you here? You know, it's not right to us. We're asking you guys to help support us in the Bill of Rights that we're trying to get passed to help everybody that's homeless here in New Haven.
Right there.
Come down! Come down! Come on down!
Come on, man, Johnny, I'm gonna eat some coffee. I'm down and I'm hungry.
So on our Bill of Rights, these are the rights we're trying to get passed as homeless. One, the right to enjoy public space, which is the green, so we don't get harassed by the cops and tell them to move along.
Be quiet. That's the problem.
The second one is employment fairness. Everybody deserves to work. Why can't we work just because we're homeless? Just because we got a criminal background, you don't want to give us jobs? This is not right.
That's not right.
That's not right. You can't get work. Everybody out here want to work, can't get a job because we're homeless? Come on. The third one, the right to medical care, dignity, and meeting basic needs. The right to access clean bathrooms. Just because most homeless people, some of them use drugs in your restaurant or your place of business, you want to stop it so everybody can't use the bathroom? Where's that? That's not right either. We can't even have porta potties on the green. There's plenty of places you can put one so people can use the bathroom, but you can't. It's not right. For me, I've been to the hospital for my seizures. My fiance will tell you, I've been there numerous times. Because I'm homeless, I can't get medical care. I keep getting told I don't have seizures, even though I got it documented on paper. Because I'm homeless, they deny me care for my seizures. Every time I go, they tell me I'm not having it, which is dead wrong to be dealing with. My fiance needs knee surgery. You know what the specialist told her, because she's homeless, she can't get it. Because of the aftercare. Because they think homeless people can't care for themselves, which is wrong. The right to vote. We can't vote because we're homeless. You got people on parole and probation that can't vote
I don't even want to
because of criminal background. This ain't right to deal with. The right to personal property and privacy. If I leave my bag on the green, why do cops got the right to go search my stuff because it's left on the green? That ain't fair to nobody. We can't walk 10 feet without having the cops harass us about our bags.
Invasion of privacy.
You know, we supposed to have privacy around here. Everybody else got it. Why can't we? Right to personal safety. The right to this includes the right to shelter during bad weather, and the right for families to stay in shelters together. You know, we don't even have a warning center that's open yet. They don't open till January. These nights are getting temperatures 15, 20 degrees. The wind chill almost 10. Going below zero some nights with the wind chill. We don't even have a shelter for most people. Me and my fiance, we're homeless. We stay under a bridge. I've been there for 10 months. You think we can get help? No. Nobody wants to really help us because we're homeless. We're trying to get places. I can't even take my service dog into a warming center because I don't have the money to buy a vest for him. Tags. And the tags. I get hassled every day for my service dog, which I need for my seizures. And I can't even get help with that. The right to sit. Right to have, we should be able to sit on this green. As long as we're not causing trouble, why can't we sit on this green? We're homeless, that's why. We're criminalized just to sit on the green? Told to move along? The right to social change. The right to equal treatment. Just because we're homeless, we can't get equal treatment by everybody? The right to housing fairness. We get discriminated on by the landlords due to being homeless and our criminal records. Why do we have to deal with trying to get an apartment and just because we got a record we can't do it? It should be fair for everybody to get a place to live. That's right. Why can't we get an apartment because of background? Give everybody a chance. Yeah, we all make mistakes. Why don't everybody just look at it? Okay, they made mistakes. Well, they changed.
Not jail, baby.
And the right to housing. Why can't we get housing? Because we're homeless. Give us a chance.
Hello everyone, I'm Carrie Ellington. I'm a community organizer. I'm here with People Against Police Brutality, and I'm also here as a member of the Room for All Coalition, the Affordable Housing Coalition. I'm here in support and in solidarity with Housing Not Jails and the CT Bail Fund. Give a round. I'm here to advocate in solidarity and to call for this ordinance to become, or this proposed bill to become an ordinance, a homeless bill of rights. As you just heard Donnie just speak to the issue, police violence is often seen. Y'all with me? Y'all hear me? Yeah. Police violence is often seen in a particular way. We look at police violence as right, when cops shoot people who are unarmed, right? When cops chase people and kill them. But police violence happens every day to those who are most vulnerable and unstably housed in our communities. Police violence happens here every day on this green. That's right. Y'all heard Donnie and Sade's story. They get criminalized and they get ticketed just for their existence, and that is not okay. They get ticketed just for having shopping carts on the green, for trying to survive. In this city, under Yale's influence and under influence of the powers that be, we are trying to arrest away homelessness, and it's not okay.
Not okay.
That's why we need this bill to pass into law, the Homeless Bill of Rights, because it should not be a criminal act to be unstably housed. It should not be criminalized if you do not have housing, if you cannot afford your housing. We are in a poor economic situation in this nation where the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And people cannot afford to survive. And people should not be criminalized for simply walking or sitting or sleeping on the green. This is not okay. We are right across from this institution called Yale, very powerful institution. Yale should not be influencing the police force to arrest away people on the green. We recently got news that they're trying to remove the bus stop on the green. They're trying to take away public space for poor and working class people in the city, and it's not okay. Is it okay? It's not. So we really have to rally behind the work that Housing Not Jails movement, and it's a movement, is building. We really have to rally behind CT Bail Fund and get this ordinance passed into law.
That's right.
And we should not be satisfied until it's passed into law.
That's right.
No one should be criminalized for simply existing.
That's right.
And police violence is a spectrum. And I just want y'all to remember that it happens here every single day on this green. Every single day on this green in the afternoon, there are multiple police cars parked right here criminalizing the homeless and criminalizing those who may be addicted or who may be in public health crises. And we need to treat these issues as crises and a public health issue and not a policing issue. And we need to see the intersections. Today is the International Day of Sex Workers. Sex workers get criminalized every day in the city. They get brutalized by police every day in the city. So we have to make the connections, y'all, between the work that you're doing and the work that we're here doing.
I have the privilege of working with a lot of Housing Not Jail's members. I'm Brett Davidson from the Connecticut Bail Fund, and I'm going to be brief today, but I just want to say a word of appreciation for Housing Not Jails for coming out here and educating us today. Yeah, for real. It's changed my life to work with you guys. I learn from you guys every day about the struggles that are out here on the streets in New Haven, about the systems that are oppressing the community, and about what it really looks like to take care of each other and to support each other, and how to ground our resistance and how to ground the strategy of our movement in an attitude of really caring for each other and loving each other. And that's what this is all about, and that's why we're out here today trying to pass the Homeless Person's Bill of Rights. And so we shouldn't even have to pass this thing into law, right? We should have a system where everyone has a roof over their head at night and no one has to live in fear of law enforcement. But that's not the reality we live in right now. We live in a reality where people's human rights are being violated every day. And it's made possible by a lot of lies and a lot of propaganda that are advanced by the city and are advanced by powerful special interests with a lot of money going into perpetuating those lies. The lies of stereotypes and profiling, and the stories that are made up to make us be afraid of people, to make us fear the homeless, as if people are a threat to us. And so what we're out here today to do is to say that we're not going to stand for the lies, that we're going to know the truth.
That's right.
And the way that we find out the truth is by listening to people and listening to people's stories and believing people's stories. And so we're out here right now, listening to each other, believing each other, supporting each other, and making a promise to each other that we're out here for the long haul, that we're going to fight, as my friends have said today, until everyone in this city has housing and safety.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I want to say just a quick word about what's going on with this bill. The Homeless Advisory Committee of the City of New Haven has recommended to the Board of Alders that the Homeless Person's Bill of Rights and the resolution to decriminalize homelessness be passed into law. So right now these bills are sitting with the Board of Alders with the Public Safety Committee and nothing's happening. So what we want is we want a public hearing where the community can sit before the Board of Alders, tell the stories, and demand to be heard and demand to be believed. That's right. So thank you again for being out here. Thank you to the leaders from Housing Not Jails for educating us and giving us direction. Thank you, Sade, for all your work organizing this. To Donnie, too. You guys have really stepped up. And I just think we have to name Sade and Donnie because of all the amazing work that they've done to bring us here today and to give direction to the movement.
The reason I'm here to support Platinum, the Housing Not Jail, the whole movement. I'm here because to support the whole movement.
That's right.
The reason I'm here is to tell my story, how I was incarcerated. I got arrested down here on the Green, July 11th, 2018. They charged me with assault and police, inciting to riot, a lot interfering and all kinds of stuff. And I sat inside down on Welly Avenue for about 4 months. And the only thing that cleared me in my story was that the police body cam. My lawyer couldn't get the body cam, and it took 4 months to get the body cam. I should have got the body cam to say the next day. I'd have been out of jail. I wouldn't have been charged with the charge I was charged. The only reason the prosecutor dropped the case and charges against me because the charges didn't fit up with the evidence. Wow. All right, so I was sitting 4 months in jail. My son just turned 1 year old. So I sat 4 months in jail, time out of his life, all because they just one day arrested me for nothing. They charged me with assault on a police officer I had nothing to do with. They said because I looked similar to someone. It's just like, it's crazy because if it wasn't for that police body cam, I would have copped out to assault on a police officer. My attorney told me at the time, I was looking at 13 years plus the 6 years on probation, so I was looking at another 20 years. For something that I ain't even do. And who can you tell it to? I told my lawyer. They don't believe me. Nobody don't believe you. But when they saw the body cam and they see that I ain't do nothing. All I did was I complied with the officer. He told me to put my hand on my back, and I did that. And next thing you know, I'm getting charged with assault police officer. I'm getting charged with inciting to riot. I'm getting charged with a whole list of charges I didn't even do. And while I was incarcerated, you know, you got charged like assault on a police officer while you're incarcerated. They're not going to give you no help because they're all officers in there. You can't get no job. You can't get nothing in there. So you just left with nothing. Nothing. 3 meals a day. And everybody think that they give you 3 meals a day. That's nothing. That's nothing. You'd be surprised. It costs 77 cents a day to feed an inmate. So you really think that's nothing. That's the reason why I'm telling my story today, because the New Haven Police Department decided to throw trumped up charges on me, but they didn't stick. And they even had lined up a special prosecutor for me, who was an ex-police officer, just so they can prosecute me to the fullest extent of the law. And my only crime was just being homeless. That's it.
And I stand before you homeless with hopes and dreams. And when I leave here today, I'll still be homeless with hopes and dreams, but at least I'll be heard. I've been homeless on the streets of New Haven for 5 to 6 years now. And the programs are helping, but not enough. As I look and see all my people, older women, children, kids out here suffering, cold, with no housing, with nothing to eat, it sickens my stomach to know how rich this city is and not helping. I just want to say, as a voice of the forgotten and a voice of those who are not heard, just imagine you would see your mother or your grandmother or your child wrapped up in a blanket on a bench and people laughing and snickering, not helping. What if you revealed that cover and that was your mother? Would it be different? Or would it be the same? And for the cops out there that harass us, I'm pretty sure on your vehicles it says serve and protect, not harass and abuse. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep it brief. This is Spencer Shaw, one of the voice of the forgotten. Thank you.
Hello, my people!
What up, man?
Do you care?
Yes!
All right. Let's let the mayor know. Who cares?
We care!
Who cares?
We care!
All right. I only got so much time to talk, but I want to say, I remember I being here last time, and I told you we were only this close from being homeless. Everybody is this close from being homeless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, I want to say something to my community. I want to let y'all all know I love y'all.
That's right.
I just recently received housing. I'm letting you know I don't do this. I didn't do this just for me to get housing. I'm doing this for everybody to get housing. That's why I'm still here. The people that y'all have talked to, I slept in bus stops with them. We slept on the green. We broke bread together. All that. There's nothing but love in the struggle. There still was that love in the struggle. I want to let y'all all know I love all y'all.
That's right.
And I'm here for you. I gave you a coat there. I still give you a coat. Hey, unfortunately, I can't get a place for all y'all to live because my apartment is only but so big.
Not yet.
But if it was a big apartment, all y'all be there. All right? Now I want to tell you about this Bill of Rights. To me, this Bill of Rights is a sledgehammer. And we can take this sledgehammer and start breaking down these walls that we cannot get into. Start breaking down these houses where we can go inside, you know what I'm saying, and have some air, have some heat and all that, you know what I mean? Break down the library, the city hall, police officers. That's what this right is for. That's what it's for. You know what I mean? To destroy all this, to bring the caring out. There's so much uncaring in New Haven. It's ridiculous now. Look at the mayor. You would figure the mayor would come downstairs now and talk to us. She ain't gonna come down and talk to us. Why? Why? Because she's an uncaring mayor. She don't care. Politicians don't care. You know what I mean? We have to fight.
Housing is a human right.
Fight.
Housing is a human right.
Fight. Now let me just say something to you. I'm about to I'm writing a play. It's called Moments of Homelessness. You have already heard some of the moments of people during homelessness. Train station, the hospital, library. It's crazy. You gotta understand. Some people go to things daily, like myself. Maybe 4 or 5 times I might get harassed in a day. And it's hard, man. It's really hard. This homelessness is something that's real in life now. It's real in life. You know what I'm saying?
And now we're gonna have Verna.
Hi, Verna. I would like to elaborate on what she was saying about, homelessness can happen to anyone. I was working on my job. I got hurt, and after that, bills started adding up. I lost my housing and ended up on the streets. I didn't know where to go. I didn't have anybody to turn to, no family, no friends, or anyone. And I would just like to say, if you ever are walking by and see somebody that's in a bad position, just try to at least help a little bit, even if it's just information to tell them where to go to find housing or just to find a warming center anywhere. There was times I'd be up and down this green all day, all night, trying to find somewhere to sleep, and as soon as I closed my eyes and rest my head, the police were there trying to arrest me for trespassing. And it was so sad because I had nowhere to go. I didn't know where to go. I just moved out to New Haven. So I would like to say, thanks for your support, and just keep supporting the homeless, to give them a fighting chance.
Listen, I'm gonna talk about myself. I had a child in jail. I was incarcerated. They didn't even give me a chance to have a child mother program. So I ended up having my child in jail. That's the worst thing, to have a child in jail, because it's 3 meals a day. You think that a pregnant woman get extra? Yeah, what? You probably get 2 extra eggs, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? But I worked through my 9 months. My pregnancy, I was high risk. I was working two shifts a day, morning and second shift, for 75 cents a day. And just because I needed some food and I was pregnant. And then I was passing out so much so that they was like, oh, you gotta go out of work. I said, I can't get out of work because I need this job. I'm incarcerated, I don't got nobody to send me money. So in my incarceration, I ended up having a baby. And when you're having a baby in jail, you think like, when you're on labor, I'm in handcuffs for having labor. You're not supposed to be in handcuffs. My baby almost died. Thanks to the doctors, N&M that's in New London. The doctor told to call the jail on the hand and tell them, like, listen, this guy needs to take this handcuff from her. She about to give birth. And because he didn't like me and I was sex time, so he still let the cuffs until one of the doctors came and make a big deal out of it. I'm just trying to say that they should give mothers and child programs to these ladies, man. And I've been seeing all these ladies for stupid ass stuff, like for a bag of weed. Bag of weed, that's nothing, man. That's just a petty charge, man. Just give them a program. Mothers, they can't be nice with their kids. They give you a year, they terminate the rate. That's not cool. At least I get to see my son, but it's not cool having a baby in jail. You know what I'm saying? I just want to talk about, I was one of the girls that got close lying July 11th. Almost got killed by the police in New Haven. They didn't commit a crime or nothing. When they arrested me, before they closed lying me, I asked them if I had a warrant. Do I have anything? They said no. So I said, what's the reason you arrested me? He said, I don't want to say nothing, just stand there. So I kept on walking. One of the police officers grabbed me and put me on a chokehold and put me on the floor. But while my face on the floor, my face under the muffler. And they still, you know what I'm saying, they still jump on me. I'm not even doing nothing. I don't got no cases or nothing. So a couple of my people went to jail for that thing. Now, in July 19, I got arrested for false information, for false accusation. They said I robbed somebody, but that neighbor wasn't even around here. So I went to court. They were like, "Oh, you got larceny." I said, "What's the larceny? You robbed somebody." I went there to charge their stick. It was the same cop that clotheslined me. Then the other day, November 4th, they locked me up for a piece of roach that was on the floor, and there was a bunch of people. Now they told everybody to leave and told me to stay there. And they told everybody to leave. Tell me who drug is that, and I'll let you go. I said, I don't know who drug is that, but that's not my business. So I said, you're gonna give me all the tickets you wanna give me. So you know what? Every time they see me, that's what they do. Tickets after tickets. For no reason. Just I don't want to talk about all this retaliation. Every day I come on the green, it's something with the police. I get up the bus and calling my name. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm just living life.
Hey y'all! Hey! What's going on? What's up? Oh wait, don't start. I think it's a good cause to pass this bill because I myself, me and my husband right there, do me where you at, baby? Right there, I've been through some of the most craziest things down here on this green because we used to live down here in the green and we got pushed off with tickets and all kinds of harassment. Not only that, but I ended up going to jail for falling asleep in the public library. After showing the paperwork and everything all the medications that I take make me drowsy. I'm on a lot of medications like antidepressants and anxiety pills and stuff like that. And still went to jail. Thank God for these two lovely people, Anna Marie, Brett, and everybody else, that I was, rescued at that time, helped out and things like that. But, this is one of the reasons why. Oh. Can you hear me, y'all? Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the good reasons why we need to have this bill passed, so that other people have to go through the same harassment that me and him went through as well. So that's all I have to say.
Double OJ! Double OJ! Will never be defeated. The people united 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 will never be defeated.
Thank you, guys. Our next speaker is going to be Norm Clement from Party for Socialism and Liberation.
How's everyone doing? Okay, I am from the Party for Socialism and Liberation, but I am also an indigenous person to Turtle Island, which is all of this land, and I'm a Confederate Quinnipiac representative. And I want to say that there are no illegal people on Quinnipiac land. So when these cops and these city officials try to make our people illegal, they're the ones that are acting illegally. It's illegal to do that.
Yes, it is.
Right? We see criminalization of homeless people all across the country. I was just looking up some things today to try and have an idea of what to speak about. And there's like 1.5 million people at any given night that are homeless in this country. The richest country in the world, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
1.5 million people homeless, over 19 million empty homes. There's the criminalization. That's criminal that you don't take care of your own citizens. The U.S. government is criminal.
That's right.
When it can afford to bomb people in other countries, but it can't afford to feed people in this country. They're the criminals. As far as New Haven goes, I've heard stories for years about how the police brutalize homeless people. I was told years ago when the bandstand was up there, the homeless folks used to sleep underneath the stage. Cops in New Haven would come along with dogs and chase them out. When they moved from there to East Rock, they would go up there in the middle of the night and let those dogs free on the homeless.
I believe it.
This is true. This is the truth. They want you to think that the New Haven Police Department is a friendly force. They are not. They are criminal just like every other police department in this country.
That's right. That's right.
What's happening here, what's happening to our homeless population is criminal. And we're not going to put up with it anymore.
That's right.
All right? We got the Homeless Bill of Rights, and I agreed with everything Carrie said, but I'm going to take it a little bit further. We're not going to stop just because we get the Homeless Bill of Rights passed. We're not going to stop until every person in this city has a place to live. And not a temporary spot. All right?
Not temporary.
We need to take down some of these landlords also.
Yes.
The landlords are creating the homeless because, like Donnie said, you can't rent a house unless you have a background check.
Yeah.
All right? Any criminal act doesn't get you housing. If you have bad credit, you can't have housing. Really, what's up with that? All right, that's a criminalization of poor people. It's happening everywhere. Some states make it illegal to feed homeless people.
Wow, yes.
We're not going back to the 18th century here.
Sure.
We're putting a stop to this.
That's right.
There will be no debtor jails. Although, I think that's what they're headed for, and I think that's what they're using us for.
Yeah.
If we look at what happened in California just recently, right? With the fires, who was used to fight those fires?
Prisoners.
Prisoners, right?
Prisoners.
Prisoners that were paid $1 a day. That's slave labor. And that's why they criminalize homeless folks. So that they can be in jail and they can be used for that slave labor, because it's not only just forest fires, it's corporations like IBM and Microsoft that use that cheap labor to make all their products, while they escape with billions of dollars in tax breaks. We need to not only fight for this homeless bill of rights, but we need to shut this whole damn system down.
I know that's
all right.
I know that's right.
Come on, can you give me a shout out for?
Hell no, we won't go. 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 Hell no,
We won't go.
hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
And if you have a car, like that's like the thing that matters.